Welcome to English Podcast Academy. I'm Olivia, and I want to remind you of something simple, something we often forget. You don't have to rush. You don't have to be perfect. Right now, you're here, listening, learning, and letting the words find their place in your mind. That's already progress, and it matters more than you think. Sometimes we believe that learning must feel fast or look impressive, but real growth is quiet. It's in the moments when you press play even after a long day. It's in the way you pause to listen again, or smile when you understand a word you didn't know last week. Today's story is about calm confidence. It's about showing up, not with loud energy, but with quiet focus. It's about doing your best, even when no one is watching. Real strength doesn't always look like shouting answers or being the fastest in the room. Sometimes it looks like making tea before you study. Sometimes it's reading the same sentence twice until it finally feels clear. Confidence grows like a plant, slowly, gently, and with care. This story is about those ordinary moments, walking to the bus with headphones in, hearing a sentence in English and understanding just enough to smile, reading a sign at a cafe and realizing you know what it says, choosing to speak even if it's just one word. That's calm confidence. That's language in real life. So today, just follow the rhythm, breathe. Let each word come to you like a wave. No pressure, just presence. Enjoy the language as it moves through your day, quietly but surely. You're doing more than you realize. Let me tell you about Amara. Amara works at the front desk of a large hotel in the city. She's 32 years old and has been doing this job for 5 years. Not because she has to, but because she truly cares about the little things others might not notice. Her day begins at 7 o'clock in the morning, long before most guests are awake. The lobby is still quiet when she arrives, filled with the soft hum of the air conditioning and the faint scent of fresh flowers placed by the entrance. She walks behind the desk, smooths out the fabric of her blazer, and gets to work. She checks the guest list with practiced ease, organizes the room keys so they're easy to reach, and sets out a small tray with welcome brochures and mint candies. It's all in the details. By 8 o'clock, the hotel starts to wake up. Guests come down for breakfast, some in suits, some in pajamas with sleepy eyes, others with cameras hanging around their necks. Some ask for directions to the museum. Others want to change their checkout time. A few simply smile and say, "Good morning." Amara greets them all the same way, with warmth, with clarity, and with a calm that never seems to fade. She doesn't just speak English clearly, she listens carefully, nods, and repeats things when needed. One guest, an elderly man from Argentina, struggles to pronounce the name of the street he's looking for. Amara leans in gently, takes a moment to check her map, and circles the location for him with a blue pen. He beams as he takes the paper, whispering, "Gracias." Later in the morning, a family walks in, dragging suitcases and worry behind them. Their booking is missing. The mother's eyes dart between her phone and her children, who are already starting to argue. Amara doesn't panic. She doesn't sigh. She offers them a seat, checks the system with quiet focus, and gently explains what happened. She finds an available room. While the parents talk through the details, she offers the children small glasses of orange juice. One of them laughs. It's a soft sound, but enough to shift the energy in the room. The mother's shoulders relax. "Thank you," she says, her voice lower now. "Thank you so much." Around noon, just as she's about to take a short break, a man storms in with a look of panic on his face. He's late for a business meeting and can't find the conference room. His voice is sharp, his hands move quickly. But Amara stays still. Her voice doesn't rise. "Take the elevator to the second floor," she says, placing a printed map into his hand. "You'll see the sign on your left. You've got this." He glances at her, surprised by the kindness in her tone. He nods and hurries off. Just a small moment, but it matters, because later, when he walks back through the lobby, he gives her a thumbs up. In the afternoon, the pace changes. Phones ring more often. A large group arrives earlier than expected. Amara moves between tasks like a dancer, steady, focused, graceful. She prepares check-in packages with hotel maps, dinner vouchers, and key cards neatly tucked inside. Then a couple approaches the desk. They're shy but excited. It's their 10th anniversary. Amara sees the sparkle in their eyes and finds a quiet way to upgrade their room. "It's our gift," she says with a smile. Later, they return to the desk with a thank you note written on hotel stationery and a chocolate bar wrapped with a gold ribbon. Amara puts the note in her drawer, near others she's collected over the years. It's not her first, and she hopes it's not her last. At 3 o'clock, her shift ends. She closes out the system, straightens the stack of room keys, and looks around one last time. The lobby is no longer quiet. It's full of voices and footsteps and laughter. But inside, she carries a stillness, a quiet sense of pride. She steps outside into the noise of the city, cars rushing past, horns echoing between the buildings. Yet her mind is calm, because today, like many days before, she made people feel welcome. She helped without showing off. She solved problems without making anyone feel small. She listened. She noticed. She showed up. No, she didn't change the world, but she made a difference in her corner of it. And that, in its own way, is what real work looks like. Let's take a moment to look at a few useful phrases from Amara's day. "Good morning, how can I help you?" "Let me check the system for you." "Here's a map of the hotel." "Would you like a late checkout?" "Have a wonderful stay." These are simple phrases, but they carry warmth. They are more than just words. Each one is like a small gift, wrapped in tone and timing. When Amara says, "Good morning, how can I help you?" it isn't just about offering assistance. It's a welcome, an invitation to be seen. When she says, "Let me check the system for you," she's not only solving a problem, she's showing that the person in front of her matters enough for her full attention. Even a phrase like, "Here's a map of the hotel," becomes more personal when it's spoken slowly, clearly, with a gentle tone. Think of your voice like water. It can rush or it can flow smoothly. Try saying these phrases out loud, slowly. Feel how your voice changes when you add just a little care, a little calm. Say it again. "Would you like a late checkout?" Notice how that question, though short, makes room for comfort. It gives choice. It respects the other person's time. And finally, have a wonderful stay. It's often said quickly at hotels, but when Amara says it, she means it. It lands differently because she's present. That's the power of language. Not in the size of the words, but in the feeling behind them. So today, speak slowly. Let your voice shape the kindness inside each phrase. Let the words carry warmth, not just meaning. That's how language connects us, one quiet moment at a time. You don't need to speak fast. You don't need to say everything. You just need to be present. English doesn't have to be perfect to be powerful. Sometimes a simple sentence, spoken slowly with care, is enough to open a door, to help someone feel understood. Real English isn't just grammar and vocabulary. It's connection. It's service. It's the quiet decision to be kind, to listen, and to speak with heart. If this podcast made you feel calm, or if you learned something new today, I'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment with your favorite phrase, maybe one that felt real to you, or one you want to practice. Like the video if you enjoyed Amara's story, and subscribe if you'd like more soft, honest English with me. English that fits into real life, just like this. You're already on the right path by showing up, by listening, by feeling something while you learn. You're doing it. Real English is already part of your life. Quietly, gently, and every time you press play, it grows a little more.